when did we do the worship night? It was in October. Was that 2022 maybe?
It may be 2022.
Yeah, 2022 maybe. Yeah, it must have been 22.
You weren't married yet, right?
Yeah. It was 22. 22.
Yeah, 22.
In
We need to add
October
that to your
2022.
intro. Married man.
Married man.
Husband to Aiden Bompende. We need to add that to the intro.
Hey,
I don't want people to go look her up, but
We'll bleep that out.
yeah, bleep it out. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, but so I had a worship night. I think we probably talked about it, as it was upcoming. So I hit Jaelen up. I was like, yo, I'm trying to assemble a team of people together to come worship,
Justice League.
Huh?
The Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League, essentially.
Because your groomsmen were the Avengers, so this was the Justice
Yeah,
League.
it's something a little different. We'll differentiate the two. But, he asked me, hey, what kind of church environment is this? Because I was working at the Baptist church. And, I wasn't there to ruffle feathers. I was there to serve. And, and I submitted to him. And he was like, hey, we're here to worship the Lord. It doesn't have to look a certain way and things of that nature. And he came and the team did a great job. And, for those of you that never,
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. And for those of you that never heard him sing, I'm not going to get into all that. But how did that even come about? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you kind of discover I can actually sing?
Oh, yeah. So, I grew up singing. I was a little boy in my family church, sang in the choir, high soprano, stood next to my mom, was singing very high as a little kid. My mom was a soprano as well. And then, as you become a young man, life hits you. And my voice changed, and I couldn't hit the notes that I once hit before. And I hated my voice after that. So I was like, oh no, I never want to do this again. So I stopped singing. And when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a superstar. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be like Usher and all them. At the time, I didn't have any like Fred Hammond. There we go. I was
I was about to say Usher or Chris Brown.
Usher. And I think once my voice changed, I didn't really like it much. But I grew up in a singing family. So my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, like all of them, my cousins, we just sang. And we would come together, and it were just every time family reunion, we were just singing. So I know that it was intrinsically a part of who I am. But when it came to ministering to the Lord, I'm like, that season is done. And I think it was 2013, 2014, the Lord started bringing it up a little bit more and more. Me and my friends, we had a nonprofit. It was called Unashamed Impact, where we would go and feed the homeless, street ministry, all of that. And it kind of blew up around the world as well. And so we just do these little conferences where we give all of our leads from all over the world and bring them together, and we just have worship and stuff like that. So everything was good. Like, we had that weekend, everything was planned. We had our speaker set, we had our worship team set. Last minute, the worship team dropped out, and we're like, "What the world's going on?" So we're in the hotel, we're doing the final wraps. I'm like, "We gotta find our worship team. We gotta find something." The room gets quiet, and I'm like, "Well," I look up, and everybody looking at me. I'm like, "What you looking at me for?" And it's like, "Jaelen, you're gonna sing." I said, "No, I'm not.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Yeah."
I don't sing." And so literally, as I said that, I felt conviction right there. And I was like, oh no, I think I gotta sing, y'all. And it was like, yeah, you do. And so I remember I went into a frenzy. I was like, oh no, I don't even know if I sound right. I don't know what I'm gonna sing. And so the Lord came through. Like, he had a guy come and found these tracks and stuff like that. And I would never forget that moment. Just opening up and just having to just sing barefooted. Just, all right, Lord, we're gonna do this no matter what it sounds like. And I think that was the beginning of the season where he was like, all right, like, I'm putting this back on his heart for me. And so sequential years after that, he would just place me in these weird, awkward situations with singing. He brought me to a church. I told him I didn't want to go there. I told him I said I'd never go to a mega church. Never tell the Lord what you're never going to do. That I'm never going to make $1 million. No, I
need it. Yeah.
Lord, I'm never going to make it go. No. So I said, Lord, I never want to go to a mega church. And at the time, he was like, oh, bet. So he took me to one. Like, it was a big old church. And at the time, the worship pastors there, were David and Nicole Binion. And I walked in, I was like, what are they doing here? I didn't know they were here. Because I remember growing up and seeing her as a young kid and like those circuits and stuff like that, singing and worshiping in different places. And so I would just go. I'm like, man, this is great worship to be underneath. And one thing I love being around in the atmosphere. I was like, wow, they really taught you the heart posture of worship. And like David does this like prophetic singing song prayer thing he does. And so every time I would go to service, people would look up and be like, why aren't you singing? I'm like, mind your business. And so one time this lady, she gets my information from a friend. I get an email saying, hey, you have auditions.
Hey.
Wow.
I said, for what? I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
So I end up going. I walk in and it's the room, like David and Nicole, they're sitting there. I was like, hey, so we're just going to play and you just fall in. I was like, this is awkward. I don't think I want to do this. So I just did it. And so again, like sequential things happened of like the Lord was like, hey, I want you to be in this space. And I remember telling him, I was like, I don't want to do this. And the Lord was like, whose gift is it? And I'm like, oh, it's yours. And so over time, he's been working with my belief and identity issues and doubts. And even when I came to Mercy Culture, like once I left that church, the Lord released me from the church to transition. When I came to Mercy Culture, it was my goal not to tell anybody that I sang. I was like, I just want to come to church. No, I don't have to do it anymore. I can just rest. I need to heal. I need to hear the Lord. I need to love him more. And I was living wild before then. And so I was like, I just want to come. And so it was a team night. The decision in my heart was like, okay, I think I'm about to go here after me fighting it. I walk up to meet Pastor. Well, no, I got pulled to meet him because I was like, I'll meet him eventually. We'll bump shoulders eventually. And so we're talking. Me and Pastor Landon were talking. He said, oh, well, great. I'm glad that you're here. And da-da-da-da. Mid-conversation, he's like, you're a worshiper. And I'm like, I'm in the church. I'm like, do I lie to my future pastor right now?
Yeah.
I said, oh, I've done it before. And he's like, done it before. And I was like, yeah. He's like, And so he just kept the conversation going. And I was like, oh, is that a lie, Lord? I don't know if it was a lie or not, but I have done it before.
Yeah.
So we finished the conversation. He was like, when you're ready, let me know. And just walks off. And I was like, that's weird. Like, okay. And so literally every single time the Lord would like snitch on me, the grand snitcher, like he would just like give people words about a gift that I had. Like these older ladies, I love them at the church. They're like at our prayer group, and they was like, "You have a gift that you're holding on." Like I'm like, he said, "Goodness, you know what it is? Yeah, it has to do with your voice." And I was like, "Oh my God!" And like Pastor Jasmine's like right here, and she's like laughing like. When you gonna give in? You know, like when you just gonna submit to the Lord, you know.
How many punches you got?
How many punches you got to take? You know, I was a little stubborn back in the day, and so I think it came to now to the Lord asked me again, whose gift is it? And I was like, it's yours. And so, I was like, Lord, this is yours. If you want to use it, you can. I'm just here for the ride. Teach me your ways. And so that's kind of how it's been. Of like, Lord, it's yours. However you want to do it, however you want to go about it, then you can use it and just help my mind to get over my insecurities.